Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Glambitious Podcast. I am your host, Lily May. And if this is your first time tuning in, visit theglamceo.com to check out the many opportunities we have to help you elevate your business and brand, including live events, interview opportunities, and so much more. Again, I always enjoy introducing you to dynamic women, visionaries, professionals, and entrepreneurs from around the world. And today is no different. So, Miss Charlotte, introduce yourself and tell everyone a little bit about who you are.
Thank you so much, May, for having me. I'm Charlotte Howard Collins, and I am a wife, a mom of four who homeschools. I am a wealth architect. I have a background in publishing, business funding, and credit. At the same time, having a beauty industry background for over 28 years combined. And I just really love helping women to fix their credit, get business funding, and really scale their business to seven figures and beyond.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, when you say wealth architect, can you give us a little more detail? Because that's a very unique title. So, share a little bit more about what it means to be a wealth architect.
So we have so many different women that we're working with constantly, and a lot of the women are coming in from different backgrounds. And so, as a wealth architect, I am taking women from wherever they are in their journey and really helping them to customize a personalized plan that will help them on their path in their journey to creating that seven-figure plus business strategically, but it's uniquely to their journey, their experience, and their skills.
I love it. And being that, we are in a unique economy, I think it's very important that we start to, take our finances, our credit, and all of those things very seriously. Can you share a tip as it relates to, improving one's credit? Like, where should a person start with that?
Well, the very first thing that you would want to do when it comes to your personal credit is, I would say, number one is pull all three of the main bureaus first. To make sure that everything is crystal clear, everything is showing up the right way on your credit report, which most people have a ton of errors on their report. So it's so important to then, once you find those errors, to go ahead and start disputing those. One of the very first thing I always recommend, if you've moved from different locations, is to first make sure that your credit profile has just one address and remove all of the other addresses that may have been linked to your entire profile. It's important for that because as you're disputing inaccuracies on your credit report, a lot of that's tied to inaccurate addresses, and it's crystal clear on your report.
Wow, thank you for sharing that tip. I think that is definitely a great place for someone to start. And I know that you also help people with business funding. So many people, struggle with finding funding for their business. What would be like a first step that you would advise in that area?
Well, I always say the very first step is making sure that your credit profile on the personal side is at least a 680, because you're going to utilize your personal credit to help you with your business funding aspect first and foremost. What you want to do is make sure that you're properly structuring your personal credit and your business credit, because they're going to kind of I like to say, help each other when it comes to getting the approvals. And so with business structuring, it's going to be very essential that you steer away from being a sole proprietor when you're setting up your business. It's best that you lean more into creating an LLC. If at the least that's, you can definitely do that. Of course, there are different structures like, creating trust and so many other things that, we can definitely talk more about, because it's all about making sure that you are protecting your assets, when it comes to your business and everything. So if you're operating, if they wanted to come after you and come after you with your personal assets, they can do that if you're just a sole proprietor. But if you're an LLC, it gets you're kind of protecting yourself a whole lot better.
Oh, that is great advice as well. And I know that, building wealth, I think, is a great way to protect ourselves from a lot of different challenges that people experience in the world. How would you define wealth beyond net worth?
I would say wealth is, to me, means freedom. It's all about going after the vision that God has, placed on you, because everybody has a different placement. I would like to say God has plans for each and every one of us, and it's really important for you to make sure that you're leveraging your voice, your vision, and making sure that you're providing the most value, so that everything needs to be in alignment. And legacy is definitely important, and impact is mostly important as well. So if you're in a business and you're doing everything that's all in alignment what God has called you to do, I think it's, everything will fall into place, because early on there are oftentimes that people get distracted by different things, and it doesn't work out because that's not what you're called to do. So I would just say, making sure that you do what you're called to do, and not, just keep your eye focused on what you are called to do, so you can avoid those mistakes, and save a lot of time, and save a lot of impact that you want to create in the world before you leave here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love how you integrated faith and finances, because it is important. And we all, I feel like, are called to do great things. And if we could stay focused and really learn how to steward our finances, I think it would definitely lend to, greater impact, greater wealth, and things of that nature. Can you share like a challenge that you've had as it relates to your faith or your financial journey and how you overcame that?
Yes, absolutely. That is such a great question. When I first started out in this industry back in 2000, I had because I was leaving corporate in the beauty industry, managing multiple hair salons, and so one of the things I kept getting were, like, family members and friends that were telling me to go back to work after being diagnosed with carpal tunnel syndrome. I had all of my eggs in one basket, and like most hairstylists and a lot of beauty professionals and people today, they don't know, that you should, diversify and have, start building your assets early on if you can. Uh, that that lesson was just more so of not having all your eggs in one basket, or trying to hold you back from moving forward on what you're called to do, your dreams, to make sure that you're staying focused on that. Because I had a lot of people telling me, go back to work, get a job, because again, that's what society has taught us, graduate, get a job while you're in school, and that's the fastest way to success. But that's not the way to success no longer. And it's just about making sure that you start building your dreams and not letting other people get in the way. A lot of people want you to build their dreams, and you need to build your dreams, as well. Even when things get tough, make sure you're surrounding yourself with like-minded people that can support you as you're going through the journey. I think that's important, to be surrounded by like-minded people, that can lift you up during those tough times, or when the times are, hey, it's time to celebrate. So at the same time as well, I think it's important to be around all of that as well.
Yes, I definitely agree. You know, having a strong foundation and community is what's going to help us weather storms and help us, have a greater anchor in the world when we have people we can trust, rely on, celebrate with, and who can also lift us up and encourage us during challenging times. Now, tell us, what some of your programs are and how listeners can start working with you as it relates to how you help them build wealth.
Absolutely. My flagship program is the Wealthy Women University, where we help women to fix their credit, fund their vision, and scale their business using the power of AI, publishing, and just creating multiple streams of income, utilizing real estate. As well as other things such as stocks, investing, buying houses, and things like that. It's so many different things we talk about in the university that are not just these are things that we have done and are continuing to do to really help women to well.
I love it. And share, what your contact information is and social media, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. So on Instagram, I'm at Charlotte the Amplifier. And my website you can go to join Wealthy Women University for free is wealthywomenuniversity.com. And there you'll be able to get access. And I actually lay the foundation there with some free courses on for those of you who want to learn how to launch best-selling books and products that will actually pay you over time, like forever, and still be creating that legacy even when you're no longer here as well.
Absolutely, because that is what it's all about, creating legacy, leaving something behind, having great impact. And wealth is definitely the instrument to get us to all of that. So, did you have any closing thoughts or anything you want to share before we wrap up to, give listeners any encouragement as it relates to their finances?
Just remember that your time here is limited. You have a voice, you have a story, and you definitely need to get that out to the world. And you have the power to be able to do that. It's just all about you taking action on doing that. Don't let anything hold you back. And that's what I want to leave you with.
Awesome, awesome. Well, you all, if you need a partner in helping you grow your finances and build wealth, definitely contact Charlotte to get that process started. Again, if this is your first time tuning in, you can follow me on Instagram at I am Lily May, and also subscribe to the email list at theglamceo.com. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Glambitious Podcast.